Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the vlog. I hate to start off the vlog on such a somber note, but I do know that retention rates tend to show that earlier on in the video is better, and I wanted to get this message across because I feel a different relationship with you as a vlog audience. These windows into my life and these parts of my life that I choose to share, I do that deliberately and I do that willingly. So when they change, no matter how trivial it may seem, something in my life changes, I feel the need to update you on that. For those of you who've been watching the vlog for the better part of the year, you'll know, like, I think it was earlier in the year, these kittens were born outside my house. I was never really a cat person, but they grew on me, and there's 3 of them, 2 girls and a boy, and the parents were never around, so I felt this responsibility, and I stepped into this role where I wanted to take care of them for as long as they stuck around and do what I could to help them out. Feed them, food, all that stuff, shelter, and they lived in the backyard and on my front porch for the better part of a year because it wasn't an option to bring them inside with my dog and my parents. They weren't going to have that. But anyhow, unfortunately, this weekend, one of the girls passed away, and that was like a really tough thing. Like, it was a tough thing because she was gone for a while. She came back, she's super skinny, she wasn't eating. And I was optimistic because she started eating, and then all of a sudden, like literally the day after that, I found her on the side of the road in a really bad shape. The vet happened to be closed that day. That's near my house, and she didn't make it. She made it through the night, but she didn't make it till the next day. Early that morning, she passed away. So that was tough because it was the least I could do in that situation. I thought was like be there for it as in that moment, and it literally like passed away in my arms, so to speak, and that's just, or literally, quite literally, that's tough. Like, I don't wish that on anybody, whether it's your own pet, an animal, a human being. Like, that is just a really crappy situation. But it is a reminder of this thing that is death, and that is quite so like the best invention of life. It's this cycle, and it reminds me of this Latin phrase, Memento Mori, to remember death or remember that you can die. To appreciate those things in your life, from the little to big things, to your friends, your family, what have you, while you have them versus after the fact. And if there's any message that I can get across in today's vlog, please let it be that. Fortunately, we were able to bury her in the lot next door. The 2 other siblings are fine, and I'll be taking care of them as long as I'm here until I leave. And I'm going to try to take them with me stateside, but if that's not an option, then my family will continue to take care of them. But yeah, so, on top of that, like, I clocked out yesterday just mentally, just to take a break and relax after all of that, following the weekend. But back in the office today, because there's a lot of stuff to be done in December. There's still a lot of things at hand that have to be taken care of. I am, like I said, moving in January. That's a big transition. I have my birthday coming up, and that's when my sofa status gets removed, which is the reason that I'm allowed to stay here because of my parents. I have to handle like medical insurance, dental insurance. The holidays are coming up. Like, that's one of my favorite times of the year. My sister will be flying in tomorrow. One of my sisters, anyway. The other one, unfortunately, can't make it out. There's just so much stuff going on that I need to personally take care of. That I need to professionally take care of as far as like my career and my job and my work responsibilities. There's just a lot moving right now, and I gotta kind of organize that as best as possible. But yeah, so that's all I had to kind of speak about for the opening of the vlog. But with that, let's go ahead and talk about what I have in store for the rest of the vlog. Alright, so on a much lighter note, let's talk about what I want to do for today's vlog, and that is a get to know me tag. Yes, full on wardrobe change if you didn't notice, but I wanted to do this to give you more insight into who I am, answer some fun questions, be interactive with you as an audience. Feel free to add on questions for hopefully next time I do this. But furthermore, I have a crazy day ahead of me, I have a crazy schedule, and it's mostly mundane, boring stuff like emails, etc. So rather than you sitting around watching that, let's answer some questions, shall we? Alright, do you have a middle name? Yes, Sicat, S-I-C-A-T, Adrian Sicat Cauguiran. Ethnicity? My ethnicity is I'm full Filipino. A lot of people think I'm Japanese because I reside here in Japan. And yes, I was born here in Okinawa, Japan, and I've lived in Japan most of my life. But the explanation behind that is because my father served in the Navy. He retired after 27 years, so stationed overseas. That's why I was born and raised here in Japan. I lived in Okinawa, Japan, obviously, when I was born, left to Iwakuni, Japan, left there to California for a year and a half, and then came back here to Okinawa, Japan. So that's kind of like a rundown of where I've been. Favorite drink, coffee, hands down. I'm always drinking coffee, hot, cold, whatever. Like 99% of the time, I have coffee with me. Yeah, or tea. Sometimes I supplement it out because I've been drinking a lot of coffee lately. Do you or did you participate in any sports? Sadly, I didn't. I wish I did more in high school and stuff like that. Made more time for that. But I always loved running. I was in running club in middle school. That's about it. But I never did like track or cross country. Favorite books or book? Favorite book recently was one called "We Learn Nothing" by Tim Kreider. It's a collection of his essays that he's written for multiple. I think mainly for like New York Times and stuff. Amazing read. It has like so many different stories to it that are uh, the way he writes is super funny, but it's also just really insightful, and I think a really great book to pick up. Um, let's see here. Oh, and by the way, like if you don't even get to pick up that book, just listen to he wrote this piece. If you Google "lazy," a manifesto, amazing piece. Definitely check that out. Okay. Oh, also, when I was a kid, sorry, I forgot to mention this. Anything by Roald Dahl. Like when I was a child growing up, any book by Roald Dahl, ECO Trot, Matilda, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, those were all amazing books to me. Like the creativity and the sense of imagination that those books crafted for me. They represented a big part of my childhood. Favorite animal? It's always been a lion. Like I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of Lion King when I was growing up, but lions were always my favorite animal growing up. Favorite holiday or season? Holiday, I guess not necessarily the holiday, but it's like the season of winter. Winter in general is my favorite season. The environment, the weather, I don't know, just all encompassing. Like the time frame. There's like my birthday comes in January, New Year's. I just love wintertime. Let's see here. Do you speak any other languages? So I speak English, obviously. But beyond that, I was English second language when I was growing up. Like they put me in those classes because I was raised by my parents and my grandma who helped raise me. Um, and my parents they speak two dialects from the Philippines, Tagalog and Kapampangan, and I understood both of those as I was growing up, and I spoke that when I was growing up. Nowadays, I understand more. I don't really speak. Same goes with Japanese. I took 4 years of Japanese, obviously growing up here. I understand a lot. I can write the basics and read the basics, but I don't claim to be like 100% fluent in Japanese. So yeah, I guess that kind of counts as speaking other languages. The favorite store. My favorite store has to be a convenience store here in Japan called Family Mart. Like it is like the convenience store. It's like the equivalent of 7-Eleven, but I don't know. Here in Japan, just super convenient. You'll find it everywhere, and they have amazing food, and they do all sorts of crazy things. Really, you can pay your bills there. You can send Amazon packages there. It's just I don't know. It's obviously super convenient. Favorite type of food? Japanese food, hands down. Like always, Japanese food. I always have a craving for it. Specifically sushi. Some of your favorite YouTubers or influential figures in general. Casey Neistat and Nerdwriter for YouTubers. Amazing content creators. Neistat has really changed the way I look at daily vlogs, like his storytelling process. The same goes for Nerdwriter, where he's not a vlogger, but the videos he makes are just amazing. Always looking at really intellectual and in-depth topics, but really simplifying the essence of them. These really great video essays. Definitely check out both of them. I'll link to them down below. As far as influential figures, so many. Like dating back to like Marcus Aurelius, Socrates, and all these amazing philosophers, to people like Nikola Tesla and let's see, Benjamin Franklin, and even into modern day, like people like Jobs and Gates and Buffett and Elon Musk. Like there's just so many amazing people. Elizabeth Holmes, so many influential figures. And I think my philosophy behind that is mentors, influential figures in your life. They're not just people who are above you or better than you or more successful. It's this idea that anybody, I think everybody has something to teach you. So like for example, one of my great mentors is my math teacher here in high school. I sucked at math. I was horrible at math, but that teacher who I've stayed in contact with has been somebody I've gone to for a lot of advice, and it's always great to get a different perspective from other people. PC or Mac? Nowadays, I have to say Mac, just because my work revolves a lot around OS 10 in that environment. I grew up on Windows, that's how this channel got started, and I want to get back to doing videos on Windows, and I actually have a lot of that in store. I have a new Windows 10 machine, a laptop here that I'm going to be doing some videos on, so stay tuned for that if you're subscribed to the Digital Dojo's channel, because I've been neglecting those for sure. All right, let's wrap it up here. Favorite movies or TV shows? There's just so many here. Movies, Last Samurai off the top of my head, Freedom Writers, Remember the Titans, anything with Denzel Washington, really. There's just so many movies. The Batman trilogy, Schindler's List, TV shows, House MD, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, House of Cards, so many TV shows, Suits. I watch a lot of TV in the sense that like I watch a lot of content, whether it's movies, TVs, on a daily basis. It's probably unhealthy. Favorite music genres and stuff like that. It's all over the place. Like I love my hip hop and rap and R&B, all that stuff. I love Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kanye, Nicki Minaj. But at the same time, I love like Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby, Louis Armstrong, Miles Davis, and Jonathan Coltrane. Like my jazz and all of that. So it's all over the place. The least amount, like the least genre of music I listen to is probably country, but it's all situational and how I'm feeling. But like for example, like the song I've been listening to the most recently is Justin Bieber's "Love Yourself." I'm not ashamed to say that. It's the most song I've been playing on Spotify as of recent. But yeah, I think that about wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoyed just giving you some insight to some random questions that you probably never knew and now you know about me. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I will definitely catch you all in the next one. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching.